welcome to the review of round 9 and the preview of round 10. This week we had a few high-scoring games, or high-scoring teams as well, should I say. 3 teams getting over 400, and our front runners, Gods of Olympus, running the table, going through the first half of the season undefeated, which is absolutely a fantastic result. So, let's get to the first game. Alright, so the first game we're going to look at is the second place El Diablos, returning to form after scoring 100 points more than they did last week. And they got 410.5. They defeated Maltese Falcons, who got 379.5. And the Maltese Falcons have now lost 3 games in a row. So let's have a look at it. For Falcons, they were led by Tom Green, who got 72 in the midfield. Libba was at his tackling best. He got 55. And Blakey, despite leaving the field to get a HIA, he got 66 as a halfback. El Diablos, well, it was difficult to single out 3 players because all of them had a pretty good game. They were all very, was an all-round good performance, to be honest. But if we had to single out 3, let's go. Luke Ryan, halfback, he got 68. Cripps matched his opponent as a tackler and got 55. And Ben King up forward was dominant. He got 45 as well. So if we look at the optimised lineups, we can see both teams still got fantastic scores. Wiedering would go to half forward, which is interesting. And Libba will be a utility. He would have got a great utility score, actually, and for Falcons. Well, El Diablo, Big Truck will get a run, and as does Parker and Crisp, who had an all-round good game. So now let's have a look at the Para Derby. The derby, it was the Gods, unfortunately, extending their unbeaten run. And they have now beaten, as I said before, every team for the first half of the season. They defeated Gators, which is 402 to 334.5. Not a very good effort by the Gators. So they're not. So as for the Gods, not just Gods by name, but at the moment they've been Gods by nature season to date. Gators, well, led by halfback Zorko, 75. He got 75 as a halfback. He only fell 75 short because I needed another 75 for him as a halfback to be able to win the game. Track, he was loopholed in at a half forward. He got 39. And Grundy surged well on the ruck with 37. As for the Gods, Rosie was superb in the midfield. He got 67. And Naz kept the run going at halfback, where he's been so dominant this year. He got 61. And Brayshaw was a good loophole at utility, and he got 99. Now, if we look at optimised lineups, we'd actually see the result would have changed. Gators would have had a few positional changes. McGrath would have been the utility, and more would have come in. For the Gods, Warner and Rosie would have swapped positions, and Baker would have got a run in there as well, which, from what I hear from Champion Data, is apparently the worst kick in regards to percentages for the season. So the Gods, 9-0. Well done to the Gods. So now let's have a look at the game of the round. And it is the game of the round this week. We'll see last year's champions, Sugar Daddies, getting their 4th win of the year. They defeated Bombers Forever 380 to 364.5. Sugar Daddies have now won 2 in a row and are equal 5th on the ladder. That's how close it is. They're giving their title defence some life after only a couple of weeks ago being languishing down the bottom. Sugar, they were led by Bailey Dale. Clearly wasn't fazed by the threats made towards him during the week. He got 70 as a halfback. Fantastic score. Sherry was Luke Tolden at utility, got 97. And Nick Martin was an excellent half forward. He got 44. For the Bombers Forever, they had an even performance all around. However, Thrill Seeker did just that. He got 49 as a half forward with Thriller. And they were also led by Wits in the ruck, who could possibly miss this week. We'll see. And Bont as utility. If we have a look at the optimised lineups, we can see Martin would have gone into utility for Sugar, and BX would have been a solid tackler once again. He's been actually a pretty good tackler all year. And Mackay will come to the side as well. For Bombers, Finlayson and Perriman would have made the side in their optimised lineups. So let's have a look at the next game, and this was the closest game of the round, but a very low scoring one. Rangers Anonymous, they got the win over Seek and Destroy, 338.5 to 329.5. Rangers, now for the second lowest scoring team in the comp, they are now a game clear in the 5. So they're just obviously getting teams in good weeks. Seek and Destroy, they were led by Jordan Clark. Luke did a halfback with 62. LDU was great in the middle with 61, and Big Maxi continued his good form and got 40 in the ruck. For Rangers, Big Ranger Riley, when the ruck, got 45. Steele as a tackler got 43, and Bolton got 38 as a half forward. Now, if we have a look at the last game, I did look at the optimised lineups there, and I've done a bit of a script, and I can't bother looking at it. So, well done, guys. Let's have a look at the last game now. Renegades absolutely smashed Punters Paddock, 437 to 332.5. Renegades were the highest scoring team for the round and had some great performances. For Punter, well, they're consistent. Big Eka, he got 40 as a full forward, and Ed Richards continued his stellar season. He got 56 in midfielder, while Wilkie got 50 as a halfback. For Renegades, Hogan was sensational. He got 77 as a half forward. Bailey Smith, just as impressive, got 130 as utility, while Holmes was good in the middle with 59. The optimised lines for this one, Renegades almost made 500, not quite. Warren Walpole once again would have made the team, while TDK goes as a follower. Punters, Big Lloyd gets the ruck position, Richards utility, and Dawson would have been the tackle for them. So now, have a look at the team of the week. Team of the week would have got 552.5. Of course, Hogan's a full forward with his stellar performance. Rosie would be the half forward this week, and Libba as utility. Couple of redheads in the middle, and Brian and Green. Somewhere in Traralgon, there's a tear in Kenneth's eye, I know it. Zorko would have got the follower spot, Dale the halfback, and Cripps would have been the best tackler of the round under the optimised lineup. A little bit of the ladder, as we mentioned, Gods undefeated, 9-0, average score of 389.7 they have got. El Diablos are second, 3 games behind. Massive gap there. So Gods are certainly looking for the second chance at the moment. A further game behind El Diablos is Bombers Forever and Rangers. One's averaging 381, the other one's averaging 345. For Falcons, they're 5th based on points for. They got a points for of 380, which is the 3rd best in the comp. And they're ahead of Renegades and Sugar. On 3 wins is Gators and Seek and Destroy, and Punters Paddock is a game behind in last. What's really disappointing here is I've lost 4 out of the 5 games, and 3 of those games, my average is the 3rd best. Mate, anyway. So, just a reminder to everyone that if you want to trade or discuss a trade, please do so now. I'm open for trades, if the deal is right for me, of course. The mid-season draft order will be set after ladder positions after this round or after round 10. So please have all your players you intend to drop before the end of the round, which is around 7 o'clock on Sunday night after the Walichi Marawa versus Euroka game. Isn't it amazing how West Coast have actually got an Aboriginal name considering it's actually not a place or a location? Anyway, or the team's not a place or location, the West Coast is. Anyway, drafting will start around then, which is, if we go by the games and the projections of the score, it looks like Seek and Destroy may get the first pick if those games go towards projections. Anyway, let's have a look at round 10. This week, there are some beautiful games going to happen. Punters are playing Sugar. Gods look to make it 10-0 versus the Falcons. Renegades, after their high scoring performance last week, are going to look to make it 2 wins over the Gators for the year. El Diablos, they play Seek and Destroy, and Rangers and Bombers look to give themselves some separation in the 5 as they play each other. So have a quick look at a couple of new injuries that might have happened, or new players returning, or possible loopholes. Punters versus Sugars. Well, punters, a few players could return this week. Mycheck, Bedford and Darcy are all test. Meek, he's been left back in Melbourne, so Big Ned Reeves may get a run. For punters, we'll get a run for Hawthorn. We think this is recorded at 4:49 PM on Wednesday, and the teams aren't announced just yet. Punters, they could play Laird as a possible loophole on Saturday. That's probably the earliest play they've got and possible best option for a loophole player, and he's in that position at the moment. For Sugar, Stringer's done his hammy. He's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks. Tom Stewart, here's a test. They say he'll play, but they'll see how he goes. But how do we know what's going on with the Cats injury list? Because it doesn't look much different to last week, to be honest. But it's been updated. Sugar's loophole options this week. Rao or Miller are an option there on the Thursday night. He can stick with Darcy Cameron, which has worked really well for him so far this season. He plays the early Saturday game. So let's have a look at the next game. It's Gods play the Falcons. This is going to be a quick one to look at because there's not much changes compared to last week. Gods, Jaden Short, who was a very, very late out, as was Oscar Allen last week. They're both tests. But they look to be fit to play this week, we think. And also, Josh Dacus looks like he could be a good loophole. Josh Dacos, should I say. Looks like it could be a loophole for the Gods. For Falcons, nothing new in regards to injuries. As for their loophole player, mate, back to the Blues on Friday night once again. They're playing the Swans. So no doubt he's going to go either Walsh or Hewitt because, as we said, it's worked for him all season. Walsh not last week, but he had a pretty good game. So let's go to the next game. It's Renegades playing the Gators. Another quick one here. Renegades have no injuries or any new players returning. Possible loophole plays for them could be Sicily or Warple on the Thursday night. Probably look like the better option for them. For Gators, Ryan Myers seems to have gotten a concussion. Didn't see when he got concussed, but he's out for a week with concussion. And the obviously loophole here for Gators is going to be Newcomb or Moore also playing Thursday night. More likely Newcomb, I would say. The fourth game we're going to look at now, El Diablos sitting pretty in second, playing second destroy, sitting second last. Amadi Party, here's a test, as is Toby Green. Now, if both players do play, El Diablos may not have a loophole option this week because he's going to have a fit side and no one missing out from what I can tell, or before teams are selected, of course. So if one of them does miss, an option for a loophole will be Patrick Cripps or Carl Amon, who play Friday and Thursday night. Second destroy, well, Stanley is a test. Besides that, no other changes or returns for them. And the best option and the person that's in place at the moment is Flanders as a loophole. So let's do the last game now. It's Rangers versus Bombers. This game, it's a bit of a walking wounded. If you look at their injury list, there's a lot of injuries there. So let's have a quick look at Rangers. DeGoey and Viney, they look set to miss. Again, they were both out last week. There's a bit of a time on there. DeGoey apparently was rested, but he's out to be seen. Canelio, he could return from a test. Noah Anderson or Saligo could be the best options here for a loophole, but does Kenner actually look? I don't know because he had his, or does he want to play loophole player? Not sure because Taranto was a loophole last week. He played Sunday. Had other options before that. For Bombers, they could actually be without a ruck this week because if the rumours are true, Witts may miss. But once again, this is recorded Wednesday at 4:53, and I'm pretty sure the teams aren't named just yet. So we'll see if he does miss or not. If he does miss, Finlayson or Thrillthorpe, Riley Thrillthorpe, may be the best ruck options for them, and they can probably still get about 20 as a ruck option for them anyway. For him, McGovern's a test, and Mills, Callum Mills could be in line for his first game of the year. He is a test as well. Pots of loopholes here for Bombers forever. Roadbottom, Roberts, Chera, Doherty, or even Mills, they all play Friday night, unless he wants to play one of his Crow boys on Saturday. Alright, so that's it. Just remember this week's games. Thursday is the Hawks and the Swans. Sorry, the Hawks and the Suns in the Gold Coast. Friday is Sydney versus the Blues. Saturday, Adelaide play the Collingwood in Melbourne, should I say? I haven't got the fixture of me, so I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. I think Sunday Twilight might have been Geelong, top of my head. And who knows? Who cares? Have a look at the fixture. I can't think of the top of my head now because I didn't write that down and I wrote the script on Ron Burgundy. Anyway, see you guys. Have a great day. Bye.